Hello, welcome back to another episode of Casey Builds Live. Hopefully everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving holiday. We're going to go ahead and finish off the week with a quick one here. This one's kind of special in a different sort of way. This is a tiny little set. It's only 450 pieces. It'll take us an hour to do it. But this set was interesting because, as you can see on the back here, it was a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive for the year 2020. And as most things in 2020, the Comic-Con conference did not happen. So they decided to take this set and they threw it onto the Lego website instead of selling it just at Comic-Con like they normally would. So this is a set that I normally wouldn't have had a shot of getting. But they put it on the website. Because it was a special set, it sold out. I mean, there was really no indicator that it was going to be up on the site, and then it was sold out immediately. And so I actually missed it when it was on the site. But luckily, someone at work had gotten one of these, and for whatever reason, didn't want it. So I went and got it, bought it off the guy at work. And so now I have one of these. So anyway, like I said, short set. It's going to take us about an hour to do it. It'll be a quick one. 400 pieces. So we're going to go ahead and start building. Oh, there we go. Thank you. Beautiful. Okay. We'll flip over there. Alrighty. So, I don't think I've ever done one of these. I don't think I've ever actually built an exclusive set like this before. I feel like my head's getting cut off a little bit. Let's fix that. Okay, there we go. That's better. And I actually don't know too much. I don't know if they put extra care into these sorts of sets, or if they're an afterthought, if I can expect the build to feel any different. I don't know. We'll find out. This was a 40th anniversary set. This is the Nebulon-B Frigate. Can't think of the name of the ship. We see these throughout different places, but the first place we see one is in The Empire Strikes Back, which is why this is a 40th anniversary set. There is one sticker in this set, which I've actually already placed, and it's in the second bag. There's only 2 bags. It's a quick set. But the first place that we really interact with one of these is during Empire Strikes Back, when Luke is getting his prosthetic hand, the one that he's on, it's a medical ship. So when he's getting his prosthetic hand on there is when we first are seeing one of these. But you also see it when it's like when you see all sorts of ships warping in and everything. This is one of the common ship types. It is supposedly a very versatile type of ship, so it can be used for lots of things. Not necessarily just medical, but anyway. Fake made up stuff about the Star Wars universe, as though it were real. But like I said, I don't normally build these sorts of sets anyway. These smaller ones, so it should be a different type of build here. It's going to be focused on conveying as much as you can with as little detail as you can possibly get, because it is a smaller scale. I suppose when it comes down to it, the sets I normally like to do are the larger ones, where you don't have to use your imagination as much. Ooh. Bo James, did you finish your Ecto 1? Supposedly mine will be showing up at some point here today. I'd put a hold on anything coming from FedEx for the past week, so it should be included in that. Also, the one sticker that was in here was for the placard. Commemorative placard. You'll see it toward the end. I'm only supposed to grab one of those. Also, the official Lego metadata for this says it's a microfig scale, which I don't really know a whole lot about. So that's something I should read up on what microfig actually means. Sometimes I feel weird doing some of the Star Wars related sets, particularly the older ones, because I know sometimes some of our viewers here are a little younger. I don't really want to spoil the movies for the younger viewers if you haven't seen it yet. It's hard for me to keep it in my mind that it's possible that people haven't seen these, but if you're only, you know, if you're under, say if you're under 10 years old, I suppose it's really not all that unlikely that you just haven't been able to watch it yet. So, or watch them. Now there's so many of them. Anyway, like I said, I try to avoid saying anything that would be a spoiler for these movies. Since they are such special movies. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. So this piece right here has studs on all four sides. This is a very classic piece that I used to think of it as a headlight piece because it seemed like it was used on cars to give your car a headlight, but they're used for lots of things. However, that the headlight piece or whatever it's actually called has a hole on the back, and it's the size of a stud. So this one you actually have to put those two together back to back ish, so that they can fit together on that piece. Yep. Bo James, if you are out there, I'm curious how your Ecto 1's coming along. In completely non-Star Wars related news, this last week has been a lot of fun, not just because it's been the vacation week, but a new version, a new expansion for Starcraft. Warcraft has come out. There's been all sorts of fun new Warcraft stuff to do. And I wish I could tie that together. Why this popped into my head just now. I wish I could tie that together with a build here. But so far the only official Lego sets that exist for Blizzard, the company, there are Mega Bloks sets of Warcraft things and Starcraft things. But there are no Lego sets of Starcraft or Warcraft. The only Lego sets that exist for Blizzard related things are Overwatch, or is Overwatch. So I'm not a huge fan of the Overwatch game. I think it's cool. I enjoy watching it. I don't spend a whole lot of time playing it or really thinking about it all that much. Not my cup of tea. So the Lego sets for Overwatch are not all that exciting for me either. But I get them because I'm trying to encourage Blizzard, and Lego, to work together and make more Blizzard-themed sets. So I would love to see some World of Warcraft or Starcraft sets made by Lego, specifically, not by Mega Bloks. Mega Bloks are awful. Okay. Oh, you know what? Come to think of it, that might be an interesting CaseyBuilds to do sometime, is me doing the Mega Blok set that I have for the Starcraft Battle Cruiser, which is no fun, and might be able to. That might be more frustrating and therefore interesting to watch than it was when I was putting in that lighting kit on the Disney Castle. Those sets are terrible. I know conflict is interesting. Only painful for the person involved. Okay, so we're getting all sorts of little, oops, lots of tiny little details hanging off of here. Lots of little bits and bobs and antennae sorts of things. Just all sorts of lots of stuff. Let's see along there. Lots of random bits. And it's not exactly delicate isn't the right word to use, but it's not terribly robust. It definitely has more of a like an old model, like plastic and glue kind of a feel to it, where you don't want to stress it too much with all the little things hanging off of it. It's not like you're going to break the Lego pieces or anything like that, but with so much little detail and fine pieces, it would be easy to come apart. Little bits could fall off of it. How many of these kits were available? I don't know if I do. It just says limited on here. It's not like it's numbered or anything. Good question. I don't know. I would like to know. The only other set that I have that I would think is probably more exclusive than this one is it's the Lego Batman Bat Pod, and it was from the old Dark Knight Batmans, the Christopher Nolan ones, and the Bat Pod was the motorcycle, and that was a set that was never actually officially sold. And it was a set that and how did you find out that they went on the website, or did you just hear from someone who got one? I had, so at work there's a channel where a lot of people talk about Lego stuff in our, we have a chat room, and so lots of Lego fans are in there constantly chatting and talking about stuff. So that's where I'd heard about it. But the one set that I have that I know is probably the most exclusive is this one that was never sold, the Bat Pod set. And they were basically a prize, a giveaway. Every day you could make a purchase at Lego, and each purchase per day you could get one entry into this lottery. And it went for 3 months. And as always, there's the no purchase necessary clause, where you could also, instead of making a purchase, you could send an email saying, give me an entry. You could do that once a day. So over the course of 3 months. So effectively you could have around 90 entries into this lottery. And so I emailed them every single day, got myself as many entries as I possibly could, and I ended up winning that lottery. And I think the bat pod had roughly, why isn't this attaching? 700 of those ones were made. Get on there. That is not plum. Something's wrong. Huh. Why is that lining up, I wonder? Can I do something? I think I might have put that on there backwards. Yep. I did something backwards. How? Boy, I don't even know how I did that. Like, it is so exactly, perfectly oppositely wrong. I don't know how I could have done it so perfectly wrong. That's weird. And very... Okay, well, just goes to show you don't need to be doing a thousands of pieces set to make a mistake that ruins the whole thing. Nope, see, I did it again. Jesus. Okay, this needs to go across there. How in the world? Take my Lego card away. Okay. Alright, that should now let me put this one on in a way that will line up. Ah, there it is. Okay. Well, that's embarrassing. Special edition indeed. Okay. That guy will just sit there for a minute. Anyway, yeah, that bat pod set was really exciting. Because one day I got a thing in the mail, it showed up and I had no idea what it was, and it was this Lego set with a little postcard with it. So, not the most exciting set. It's another tiny little one, but it was one that almost nobody else was going to have, so it's fun getting that. And even though Christopher Bailey really, really hates the Batmobile Tumbler set that came out with that movie, for that movie, that the Bat Pod was sort of meant to coincide with, I really liked the Tumbler a lot. I thought that was a really cool set. So, at the time, there weren't a whole lot of big sets like that one. Certainly not superhero-y sorts of ones, and it was sort of unique. So, it was a special set at the time. So getting that Bat Pod was extra special. Okay. And one thing that I've heard people complain about with the Star Wars sets, not about this one specifically, but it certainly this one should be included on that. It's never been anything I've complained about or had an issue with, but the complaint that I've heard is that all the Star Wars sets are just a whole lot of dark and light gray pieces. They all kind of are sort of the same because they all just have a whole lot of this going on, which is true, but that's sort of what the That's what the ships look like. So anyway, point being, this set is no different than all the others. It's just a whole lot of light gray and dark gray. Can I get this in there? Get in there. How far does it go in? Oh, not far at all. That's all it's got. Okay. Yeah, so I don't know if they ever... LEGO doesn't usually ever make an official announcement of how many boxes of a set they have or are going to have, unless it's something like that, the Bat Pod, where it's a special edition lottery, X many number of people are going to win this, where it's reported. So I don't know if they've ever actually... They don't usually publish those sorts of numbers for a normal set, and since this was going to be an exclusive at Comic-Con and then was sold like a normal set, I think it counts as a normal set in that they don't probably have much intention of reporting how many of them they were going to sell. Alright, this kind of fits in there. That's it. Not as secure in there as I'd like it to be. Hopefully... Okay, well, it looks like we're putting a few more pieces on here, so hopefully that'll hold it in there better. There's one, probably for the other side. Yep. Two. There we go. Yeah, it feels better now. And we're just going to keep on adding more and more little details. Little bits. Ooh. I saw this part on the box. I thought this was going to be one of the tubes that it frequently has, where it's a kind of a ribbed tube, but this one actually is just a whole bunch of single studs along this bar here, which I tend to like better. I don't really like the tubes. Now we'll do another whole bunch of along this tube. Same situation. So it makes it look like it's going to go through the thing. Kind of like the old gag of that arrow going through your head, kind of a thing. Box. I guess I just didn't look close enough on the box. If you look on the box, if you look at it closely, you can tell that it isn't actually one of the tube pieces. But if you're just glancing at it, it definitely looks like one. So it looks like there's a tube going through there. Oops. Okay, more across the top. Almost kind of looks like a phaser at this point. That is the wrong universe, though. We are getting close to the end of this tray. Just a few little pieces left. And that will officially be the halfway point. In fact, all these little pieces that are left are the kind that the bag filler sorter counter machines don't count very well, so any of those could be extra pieces. Yep, that's that. Lots of extra pieces. All the single little itty bitty lightweight ones. Oh, here. Okay. Halfway done. Oh, could you give me my water, please? I left it over there. Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay. Halfway done. Kind of the back half of the ship, or the front half. Front. That would be the front because the thrusters are the part that we haven't built yet, which would be in the back. It all makes sense. Okay. Anyway, one tray left. We're done. So halfway point, halfway through the build. Yeah. We'll be done in an hour-ish. Maybe a couple minutes over. Reason why a set like this takes as long as it does is usually when there's single stud sorts of things like this, it takes longer to line them up. Obviously, when there's only a single stud and it's not spanning multiple studs, the single stud is difficult. You have to very intentionally align it, as opposed to multiple studs where it just locks itself into place naturally. So the amount of care you need to take to try to get things aligned, that kind of detail work takes a little makes it a little longer, just because you actually have to pay attention. And anyway, that's an interesting dark green. Okay. So like I said, you don't really need to worry. Something like this, you know, everything's just connected by a stud or two. You don't need to worry about them falling apart. The Lego bricks will hold on nice and tight, but it's easy to bump. And if you bump it, you could easily knock pieces off. Kind of just need to be more careful with stuff at this scale. It's just a little more delicate. It's also interesting at this scale too, because you'll frequently, and I don't know if there actually will be or not, you'll see pieces like this one, which normally this piece is, its purpose is to have another thing attached to the other side over there, and then they can hinge together. But when you're doing stuff at this scale, things like that can be used purely as decoration and not actually have anything attached to it. So it's kind of harder to tell when you're doing things, the smaller things like this. You know, I always like to try to guess at what things are and if things are going to move or if they'll be used to lock other pieces into place, and it's harder to do that with stuff at this scale because things could be just as likely to be used as ornamentation as they are to actually be used as functional thing. I don't know what the right word is. I don't think me talking about it anymore is going to help people understand either you're getting it or you're not. I'm doing a poor job of explaining that one today. Okay. These are claw pieces. Claw piece, claw piece. Dark circle. Little car thing. Yeah, there's so many interesting little pieces that we're getting to see with this set right now. And I don't know if unusual is the right word, but trying to get all of the detail out of the little pieces, you have to use a lot of different types of little pieces as opposed to the more standard ones. So just look at that up close, and you can see there's a lot of detail there in a very dense, small, tight amount of space. You know, and there's only 8 pieces here, but there's a lot going on. Okay. Mirror that on the other side, it looks like. So, because of the small scale detail that they're accomplishing, it's an interesting sort of set to build. Different kind of interesting. I tend to gravitate to the larger scale stuff. I enjoy those more, but I can still appreciate the creativity that goes into designing a small scale thing like this as well. Sometimes Lex does an almost too good of a job sorting the pieces, and because everything is so perfectly laid out, I have a hard time sometimes seeing the pieces I need to see because the organization is too perfect. Everything just kind of looks right the way it is, and so it's hard to see specific things popping off the tray when you're scanning for them. She does a good job. Still just building up lots and lots of detail on a really tiny set. Oh, yeah. Sweet. Okay. There we go. Oops. Yeah, there's a whole lot of single stud tiny pieces over here. Oh, that's all going to be for the thrusters on the back. Yep. One, two, three, four. I also frequently have an issue with all these tiny little pieces, just grabbing them. All the single pieces like this are tough on my big old fingers. Upside down. That goes there. All right, 7 little thrusters. Like I said, lots of little single stud pieces. To get this micro scale down. And I can't remember if I mentioned it. This set was, or rather is, this is a 40th anniversary set for Empire Strikes Back. That came out in 1980. This set was a 2020 set. There we go. Should be evenly. Oh no, there's one extra piece on this side. Gives it just enough lean. Oh well. Do the opposite side as usual. One side then the other. More random little one-off pieces. I don't know if I've ever even seen one of these before. Here, I'm going to attach it to this. So there's a piece that kind of looks like binoculars like this, but it doesn't have the stud on top or the thing below. So that's a little Johnny Five head there. I don't know if I've seen one of those before. Definitely good for adding fine detail. Okay. So all comes together. Use these to lock it all together. There we go. Now it's one piece. Looks even more like a phaser blaster pistol. Okay. Oh. Thoughtful now that it's all together like that. They're going to have us build the base, presumably because it's difficult to hold and work on the way it is now. So normally they don't want you to have they don't like it when it's in a regular shape, when it's something this built up that can't stand one way or the other. That's one of the things that they usually try to avoid in the instructions. So when you get to a point like this where it can't stand on its own, then they usually either have you build a stand like this that it can sit on that you can then continue to work on it on. Sometimes they'll have you put a dummy piece underneath here or there and then have you remove it on a final step. They don't do that one as much because that is literally just throwaway pieces. Let's see, they had you do that on the Barracuda Bay with the rudder to help it stand up. A couple of cars on the underside, they use a little bump mound kind of a thing to I think they did that on the Ferrari F40. Anyway, various sets they do that sort of thing, but most of the time they won't give you extra pieces that you're just ultimately going to be removing. So things like this where you build a stand is a lot more common. Flip it around. Upside down. Like that. This goes across here. Something is missing. Did I double tap the next arrow? Oh no, I just missed this part. I missed a step. Well, I think if you're counting the most number of mistakes in the fewest number of pieces or steps, that's 2 on this set so far. Missed things. Ah, happy Thanksgiving, Cordy. Perfect timing. See, so here's the single sticker that came with this piece that I already placed prior to starting. Just a little placard commemorating the 40th anniversary of Empire Strikes Back. Alright, now this guy gets to hang off of here. Let's see where it's supposed to sit. It's kind of hard to tell from that angle. Okay, I think lines up underneath like that. So it's definitely heavier on this end than this end, but because the whole thing's light enough, it actually stands just fine. So it's relatively centered on there this way. If this set were bigger at a different scale, this would be an issue. But as such, not really. Tiny little ship right there. Where do you attach? You attach right there. Or maybe not a ship. Those could be guns. Hard to tell. It does look like a tiny little Millennium Falcon, but I don't think size-wise. I'm not sure what scale this thing is actually supposed to be at compared to a Falcon. Oh, here's the binoculars piece I was talking about. You can tell how this one's different. It doesn't have a stud sticking up on top or anything on the bottom to attach. So, different than that other piece that I was holding up earlier. Lots more just extra little pieces of detail here and there. Really not doing much with anything structural here. It's just adding on. It's just adding extra bits, extra detail. Greebling. Okay. This attaches right there. It seems. Okay. We're going to be doing this other side now. Oh, nope, I was wrong. Not the other side, it's the top of this side. Now, let's see here. This is also an unusual piece. I don't usually have ones that go out to a point like that. That is not a common wedge. Not wedge, angle. I don't even know how to refer to it. Piece like this, very normal. This one, not so much. All right, flipping around to the other side now. Looks like on that last side we worked our way front to back. Now it looks like we're going to maybe go back to front. Get on there. There we go. Yeah, this would definitely, it's way more heavy over here. So you can tell when you're holding it right now that that could be a possible issue. But again, because of how small it is, it's not going to be a problem. But if it were a bigger set, it would be. There are not a lot of pieces left over here. Or, sorry, there are not very many pieces left to put together. That's what I meant to say. Back to the front and right up there. That's that. That is the end of the set. That's it. And real easy to detach it. Get this out of the way so we can not worry about losing pieces. Under an hour, complete. Easy peasy. You can easily take that off of there and take a look at the model. It's cool. It's a good little set. Whole lot of fine little detail on it, which is what you can expect from models this size. Anyway, that's that. All done, guys. Like I said, quick build today. Hour, we're done. Hopefully everybody enjoyed their Thanksgivings, and I haven't figured out where we're gonna go from here, but we'll definitely be back here next week. Same time, 2 p.m. Saturday. And everybody enjoy the rest of your weekend and get back to it tomorrow. Bye, everybody.